Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw from August 3rd. So some news before, before I get into it. First of all, early in the morning, Bijan, 4 years, $140 million, something like that. Pretty good extension there. He's going to have a great year. He deserves that contract. And then Brock Lesnar officially confirmed his retirement, so farewell to him. And the Rumble is officially going to take place at Glendale in the Cardinal Stadium next year. So looking forward to that. I haven't really seen that. I haven't seen that venue in a while. So I wasn't even watching when I was like 1 year old, or not even. I don't even know. No, I wasn't even born when WrestleMania happened in that stadium. But yeah. But without further ado, let's get into the reviews. So yeah, let's go. So the opening segment was between Roman Reigns and LA Knight. I actually had to rewatch this one right now because I missed it. I barely missed the segment. So yeah, LA Knight interrupted. Well, Roman had his promo. He was like, "I beat both Punk and Seth, and now here I am making a statement." Then LA Knight came out, interrupted, and challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman replies to get in the back of the line and all that. And then LA Knight just goes on this tear of comedic of comedy on his promo. Like, he made Roman break character, which is pretty cool there. But he was standing on business in that promo, so yeah, pretty cool there to see LA Knight basically stand tall in that. But yeah, looking forward to a Roman Reigns and LA Knight feud. I was anticipating Oba Femi to come out here, but I guess it didn't. LA Knight is still a really good option. I just wonder how they're going to execute on this feud. It was a good segment as well. I'm going to give it a 3.8 out of 5. We'll see where they go from here. So yeah, let's move on. The opening match of the night was Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. This match was pretty solid. I warrant a rewatch for this one. I think this was pretty fun. Here, Javon Evans got the win. Wait, he did, right? Yeah, he did. And then after the match, Big Cass returned and attacked Javon Evans. So yeah, big domino effect of the night. Big Cass back. And damn, he's ripped. Oh my gosh. The crowd had no reaction for him, which I kind of feel bad for that because it's unfortunate. I've never seen Big Cass in my life, so I really can't say anything about that. But he returned after 8 years, I'm pretty sure, attacked Javon Evans, and that was that there. So maybe a feud between Big Cass and Javon Evans. That could be fun. You never know, so we'll see. As for the match, I'm going to give it a 3.7 out of 5. And for the return, I think it's a thumbs up. We'll see. We'll see as the weeks goes on. But as the weeks go on, sorry. But we'll see. Let's move on. So next up was Roxanne Perez versus Sol Ruca in a singles match. I'm assuming it's because Sol Ruca wants another shot at the IC title and she's facing Roxanne before that. I'm not too sure, but it was a match made out of the blue. So yeah, and it was honestly, I thought it was a good match before it ended. I think these two have solid chemistry. Both of them have a lot of talent in ring, so that's pretty cool there. Liv Morgan got caught interfering and it forced a DQ. And then afterwards, they just beat up Sol Ruca until Becky Lynch returned, which I'll talk about in the next clip. But yeah, I'm going to give the match a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was pretty solid for what it was. So yeah, now let's move on to the next. I have to actually rewatch it because I don't remember much from it. But yeah, I want to rewatch it so I can get my mind sharp about it, so I can at least don't get anything inaccurate. So let's move to that. Alright, I just rewatched it. This next segment, it had it all. It basically had it all. After the beatdown of Sol Ruca, Becky Lynch came back. I don't know if she made the save or not, but she came back after 2 months away. I think the last time we saw Becky Lynch was around Clash in LA, which was around 2 months ago, so that's pretty cool to see Becky Lynch back. Had a cool promo with Liv Morgan. She also kind of aired out the grievances we've had online, like saying, "Oh, Liv, defend your damn title. It's we don't want to wait on another 100 days for you to defend the title." So yeah, she kind of aired out those grievances on TV, which I think is a pretty interesting touch. That just proves that the creative team is just chronically online and they can just see all the bad things we're saying about them. I'm not saying anything, obviously, but I'm kidding. And then just started cooking Liv Morgan on the mic, and Liv, she was responding pretty well. She's a pretty good heel on the mic, in my opinion. So yeah, pretty enjoyable promo between those two. And then, yeah, Liv got rage-baited enough where she just dipped. And then out comes Stephanie Becker, who we haven't seen since WrestleMania. Cool to see Stephanie back as well. And then we had a little stare down after she beat up Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day between Becky Lynch and Stephanie Becker. And that match would be pretty fun to see as well. It's kind of insane how WWE kind of revitalized the women's division in one segment. 2 returns in one segment. 2 big returns in one segment. So yeah, I love that. They really revitalized the women's main event scene in a snap of a finger like that. I loved it. I'm going to give it a 3.8 out of 5. And for those 2 returns and how everything in the landscape now for the Women's World Championship scene, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. So yeah, let's move on. That was pretty cool. Let's move on. Next up was Oba Femi's statement promo. It was just him saying like how he conquered Brock Lesnar. He kind of alluded to himself being still being king of the ring, so I'm kind of anticipating he's gonna lean towards a champion sooner or later. I'm not too sure when that will be, but yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty basic promo. I'm gonna give it a 3.4 out of 5. So yeah, nothing really too much said about that. So yeah. Next up was Braun Breaker versus Joe Hendry. And the thing I liked about this was before the match, Braun Breaker and Oba Femi had that stare down. After Oba walked out and before the Vision entered, they had that little stare down, and it was mainly between Braun and Oba, not Theory and Oba, not Logan. Logan wasn't even there. It was Braun and Oba, which kind of gets me a little bit excited because it could be about time where they're finally going to start using Braun correctly, because there's no reason why Braun Breaker should play second fiddle to Austin Theory and Maxine Dupree's love story. So him going after Oba Femi would be pretty cool to see there. He looked like locked in as soon as that stare down happened. In the match too, he squashed Joe Hendry in 2 minutes, which it sucks for a guy like Joe Hendry to be subjected to this. But for a guy like Braun and that needs this booking, I think it was the right call, in my opinion. So have Braun go after like a main eventer like Oba Femi. So yeah, I think that was perfectly set up here. And yeah, for the Vision, their mid card members, Theory and Logan, especially Theory, he attacked Joe Hendry after the match, and then Giselle made the save. So I think for the mid carders of the Vision like Theory and Logan, that could be a good call. I think the only reason why Braun is still tag team champion voice crack is because I think they're just waiting for Logan to recover from that elbow. I don't even know. They're waiting for Logan to recover from that injury, which he's making good progress, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's soon. I think the reason why Braun is still champion, they're just waiting for Logan to recover. And yeah, he'll be tag champs with Austin, and then Braun will go on to the main event scene and do whatever there. But this match, even though it wasn't a good match at all, I still feel like it was a step in the right direction for every member of the Vision. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up but I'm gonna give the match a 1.5 out of 5 because it was like a 2-minute match. So yeah, let's move on. I kind of yapped right there. Next up was Chad Gable and Penta versus the Judgment Day. Chad Gable, before this, had a promo. Basically, one of those like babyface champion promos after they just won the title. So, pretty much that's it there. Nothing really too much else to say about that promo. Tag match came after that against the Judgment Day, Dominic and JD. And it was a pretty fun match, I'll say. And then Chad Gable and Penta got the win. What surprised me a little bit about this match is that Penta used the dirty tactic to get the win. When the ref was turned around, he used the title to the face of, I think it was JD. I'm not even too sure. But it was title to the face, and then Chad Gable got the win via pinfall. So yeah, pretty fun match there. I'm going to give it a 3.6 out of 5. So yeah, let's move on to the main event. And the main event was Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys in a street fight. So yeah, it was a good street fight. Like, it was one of the street fights where it was actually pretty enjoyable. Like most street fights in the company, they usually have like outside interference. Not interference, I would say like people just coming in. Yeah, I would say interference actually. Never mind. Like multiple people just making run-ins. This match was completely between these two only, which I think it was a nice touch. Usually when we see bloodline matches, it's always everybody coming out to make saves and all that, and to beat each other up ringside. But no, this match was strictly between these two, and it was honestly a solid match. I'll say that. Jacob Fatu ended up destroying Royce Keys to get the win. He just killed him post match as well. Hit him so hard his mouth, he just started gushing blood out of his mouth. Pretty insane there. Made Jacob once again look like a monster, and it made Royce Keys look really good as well. Royce Keys, like, he looked good in the match, I would say. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. And then Roman Reigns came out. He basically acknowledged Jacob Fatu and how good he's doing with it. He actually got things done with Royce Keys, and unlike the Usos, which they lost this past week. Well, Jacob also lost, but Jay got pinned, I guess. I don't even know. But yeah, Roman Reigns met Jacob with the approval. And that was that there. Jacob just destroyed Royce Keys, wrote him off for a while. So we'll see what happens there. And then Rey Mysterio, and they went backstage with Roman. Rey Mysterio met with him to discuss something about AAA, which is something I just was never going to expect in a million years. Roman Reigns maybe fighting at Worlds Collide? You never know, but that could be insanity. We'll see. I am really looking forward to what's going to happen with the AAA stuff with Roman Reigns. We'll see, because wow. As for the match, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to rank the matches as well. I think 4 of these matches, 4 out of the 5 matches deserve rewatches. I think all of them, except for the Braun Breaker match, were pretty intriguing and fun to watch. So yeah. And my favorite promo was the women's promo, which just kind of moved the needle for the women's division in one segment. So I enjoyed that one the most. And yeah, I'm gonna give this show a 3.9 out of 5. That's not like a high end 7 out of 10. I thought it was very good. We've seen the Raw the past few weeks has just been filler, nonsense, and stupidity. This week, I'm glad it was a step in the right direction. Good matches, good advances in storytelling, and just a good show overall. It felt like we're back in 2023 for the first time for the first time in a while. So yeah, pretty lovely show here. And SmackDown's been completely changed over the course of the weekend too. So we'll see what happens there on Friday. But Raw, I'm gonna go to 3.9 out of 5. It felt really refreshing to have wrestling that was actually pretty exciting. So I like that. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, everybody. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.